Welcome back to the Filthy Black Table. And it's my first Filthy Black Table of 2025. I'm so excited today because I get to talk about one of my favorite franchises starring a blue character. No, it's not Sonic. It is Mega Man. Today we're talking about Mega Man. Mega Man is Capcom's mascot, I guess. He definitely was their mascot at one point. For a while, it seemed like maybe he wasn't going to be as prevalent for the company. I'm thinking around the Xbox 360, PS3 era. He had a couple digital games, but it seemed like the Capcom stuff had kind of fallen off at that point. And it wasn't until maybe 2016, 17, we really started to see Mega Man come back in a big way. Also released in 2017 was the Nintendo Switch. So today I'm actually going to be talking about all of the Mega Man games that you can find on the Nintendo Switch. And I counted across all of the different collections, all of the individual games in those collections, there's roughly 40 to 44 games. And I know that sounds weird, me saying it that way. It'll make sense once I explain that to you, why it's either 40 or 44, depending on how you look at it. I think in the title, I'm going to say 40 games, because that's the way I see it. But yes, there are a good number of Mega Man games on the Switch, more than you may have thought. So we are going to actually go through and talk about the different releases on the Switch for Mega Man, and, just kind of appreciate the Blue Boy. The first release here was the Legacy Collection, which is Mega Man's 1 through 6, the classic NES era of Mega Man, the one you probably think of when somebody says Mega Man. That's what the Legacy Collection 1 was. I own this damn thing, like, I have owned this damn thing like 4 or 5 times across 3DS, PS4, Switch, Steam. Like, the Legacy Collection is everywhere now, so it's so easy to get your hands on it and play classic Mega Man. I was so excited when this first came out. The first platform I bought it on was PS4, just because, again, at the time, there wasn't much, happening in the world of Mega Man. The most we had was fucking Mighty Number 9, remember that? Yeah. So, to get the Legacy Collection, that was a good sign for the future. We hadn't seen a Mega Man collection like that really happen since like the anniversary one, which I used to play that one all the time. So I was more than happy to get the Legacy Collection, and it's a great way to play those original NES games. About a year later, we got the Legacy Collection 2, which has less games. It only has 4 games. It has Mega Man 7, 8, 9, and 10. But honestly, I think those are like some of the weirdos in the classic series. I think they could have included Mega Man and Bass. That would have been nice. But just having those 4, I think, makes it a less desirable package than the first one. But I really appreciated Capcom making the effort to even put those games out at all. To put, 7 and 8 aren't the most popular classic games, and 9 and 10 were, again, PS3, Xbox 360, like, downloadable games. So, to have those physical alongside, 2 of the less popular classic series games was great. It had both these collections had fun side modes and extras and stuff to mess around with. So in terms of the classic series, well represented here. 1 through 10 are represented. And then, of course, we got the brand new Mega Man 11. I say brand new. I'm pretty sure this was like 2018, I think. Mega Man 11. A game that I really liked. Looking back at the launch, I think I was just really excited to have a new Mega Man game at all. It was very exciting. They haven't done much with it afterwards. They haven't revised it, or they haven't announced any plans for new games. But I still appreciate the fact that this game exists. It is a good entry in the franchise. It has some low points, but it has some high points. And like, if I had to give it like a number rating, I'd probably give it like a 7. Like, it's good. So I thought it did pretty well to follow up the classic franchise. And then Over here, this is where things start to get weird. This is where we start to get in the territory of like, did you know this was on the Switch? This is Mega Man Battle and Fighters, which is the Neo Geo port of the 2 Mega Man arcade games. I'm counting this as one game because it was just one release on the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Sorry, I don't know if I said Pocket. The Neo Geo Pocket Color release of the 2 arcade games on one cartridge. Very fun. I actually reviewed this on the Button Mappers last year. You can actually find a short review over on that channel where I was talking about it. I really like this game. I love, getting to play all the old Neo Geo Pocket games. So getting the Mega Man one was a nice little treat, and as a Mega Man fan, I was exhilarated to get to play. So that's game number 12 right there. But then branching out from the classic franchise, they started doing the X franchise. So we did get the Mega Man X Legacy Collections 1 and 2. They came out at the same time. It was very strange. You could buy them separately or as like a bundle. I remember on PS4, I actually bought these as like a disc bundle in one package. I don't know why they split it up. Because it's funny because like the first one has X 1 through 4 on it, and then the second one has X 5 through 8, and you're clearly getting the better deal with the first package because X 5 through X 8 are not the best representation of the X franchise. But together they make a full package of 8 solid Mega Man X titles, and some of them aren't as good as others, but still, you get the whole X series here. Outside of Command Mission and Maverick Hunter X and stuff, like, the main numbered entries you get. You also get some fun side modes, like where you get to fight bosses and boss rushes. That's something that all of these collections like to do. So, to be honest, X isn't my favorite Mega Man franchise. I do like these games, but like I said, I honestly think after the first 4, they go downhill quickly. X5 through X8 are not great games. They have stuff I like about them, but like if you're just gonna buy one of these, just buy this one. Unless you're like really devoted and like want to see the series through, Collection 2 probably isn't worth it. That's just, it's so weird that they split those up. So that's another 8 games. On top of the 12, so that's 20 games already right there. And then we get to probably my favorite collection they've done is the Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection. Mega Man Zero is my favorite Mega Man platformer series, I would say. It takes place years after the Mega Man X series and stars Zero, the other guy from the X series, and it has a ton of cool plot elements to the game. It's like a dystopian future. It's really mature for a Mega Man game, honestly. And this collection comes with all 4 Zero games for GBA, along with both of the ZX games for DS, which makes it for a nice 6-game package. These games are pretty meaty. They'll take you a little bit to get through. This was actually, even though I've had this collection since I think 2019 when it launched, or 2020, I can't remember when it came out. Last year, I got back into playing this, and it actually made it into my top played Switch games for last year when I got my little Nintendo thing that told me what I played. I fucking love this collection. This is probably the one I would recommend the most, but also without the context of the previous franchise, it's kind of hard to also recommend it because you come to appreciate a lot of the elements of this game or these games when you've played the other ones. So yeah, I don't know. I do really love the Zero games though. They're fucking fantastic. They're hard as shit, but they're fucking awesome. Also another, I just love GBA era Mega Man because I also love this collection. Again, they did the Mega Man X thing where they split it up. But this is the Battle Network series, which is the RPG series that's set on its own timeline. And this is where things get funny. This is why I said 40 or 44. Because across these 2 collections, you're really getting 6 games, but I think what's starting with the third game, they start doing the Pokemon thing where they have 2 versions. So there's like there's what like an additional 4 games there that are just variations of the other game. So really, like when they advertised this, they said, "Oh, you're getting 10 games," but really you're getting 6 games and then 4 variations. But don't let that take away from the fact that this is fucking awesome. I love the fact that the Battle Network series got any sort of release. I praised the hell out of this collection when they came out. I love this thing. It's great to see the Battle Network franchise here in the modern era. If you haven't played these games, they're awesome Mega Man RPGs set in their own universe, so you don't even need to play the previous games. But if you had played the previous games, you could appreciate some of the fun characters and references. And they're like some of my favorite GBA games. So getting them here on the Switch and other platforms is fucking great. So again, I don't know why they split them up. There's no reason to buy Volume 2 if you haven't played Volume 1 because the stories, connect. But it is nice to have them here on the Switch. I do hope one day they will do this sort of collection for the successor series, which is the Star Force games on DS. I hope they also get a package like this. I was kind of surprised they didn't just include them here because Star Force was less popular than Battle Network, but here's to hoping Star Force gets something. And then we get into some weird ones here. These last 3 are kind of weird, but they do have Mega Man games. So I forgot where we were. This was like 20, so this is what, 26? So this is 36, right? Right? Hold on, wait. I think. Did I miscount? Hold on. Okay, yeah. So if we're counting what I counted, I didn't count the variations. We have 32 so far. This is the Capcom Arcade Stadium second stadium thing. The second one they put out. These are collections of Capcom arcade games, and they actually put out both of the Mega Man arcade games on the second volume. It has the Power Battles and the Power Fighters games. What the Pocket Color ports were, but they're separate releases on here. So I'm counting that as 2 games, and those are fun. Those arcade games are fun as hell. I used to play those all the time on the Anniversary Collection on GameCube. Great to have them. So that's 34? Okay, yeah, and then this is the Genesis Online, which I don't even have active right now because this is part of the really expensive Nintendo expansion pack thing. That I had it for like a year, and I got to play like N64, GBA, and Genesis games along with the other stuff. It's just too damn expensive to justify. But if you have it on the Genesis service, you can play. What the fuck is that game called? The Wily Wars. You can play. Sorry, I forgot the name of the damn game for a second. You can play Mega Man: The Wily Wars, which was a Genesis release of Mega Man 1, 2, and 3 on one cartridge. They were kind of like, think like Mario All Stars. They were kind of remade. So that's a game that is available, and it's kind of hidden. It's a Mega Man game, so that makes 35. And then on the Game Boy service, which I do have active right now, I'll actually sign into this one. Oops, I was playing Chocobo Mystery Dungeon Everybody. I don't want to close that because I don't know if I was in a dungeon. Anyway, on the Game Boy service, you can play the Game Boy versions of Mega Man 1 through 5, which are, I think, outside of like 5 or... I can't remember which one. Some of them are original and some are not. I'm not as familiar with the Game Boy games. But, yeah, you can play the Game Boy games. So that makes 40/44 if you count the variations of Battle Network. Holy shit, there's a lot of Mega Man on the Switch. Just a shit ton of Mega Man. And I'm very grateful that this is a thing that happened. But also, I'm also kind of selfish because I'm like, where's Star Force? Where's the Legends games? Where's the Game Boy Color X games? Like, where's Mega Man and Bass? There are still games missing from the Mega Man lineage. But in terms of like having everything on one console legally, you know, not counting, you know, like playing emulation on like a PC or Steam Deck or something, having all the Mega Man games on one console legally, this is the closest we have ever gotten. It's crazy to think about that, and it's great. I've played a lot of Mega Man on my Switch. And, you know, I do hope they do release more collections, or maybe even a Mega Man 12 or a Mega Man X9 or something, or who knows what they'll come up with. But it's awesome to be a Mega Man fan right now, because there is just so much to love and appreciate, that Capcom has at least been putting in some effort here. So yeah, I was thinking about this the other day, and I kind of wanted to share it with all of you, just in case you didn't know. There are 40 Mega Man games on the Switch. It's this guy. It's the blue bomber. He doesn't have his cannon on this little toy. Weird.